Welcome to our Panther Sports Talk Year in Review, and what a year it was. A lot to cover as we're sitting down with UNI Athletics Director David Harris. You have a strategic plan. You have things figured out of how your staff and everyone will move the athletic department forward. A pandemic hits. Talk about how proud you were of the way your department was able to pivot and respond to the many challenges that came in 2020.
Incredibly proud, because there is no playbook for this. Nobody's ever been through it. Nobody knew exactly how to go about doing it. So I've heard the expression, we were flying the airplane and building it at the same time. That's exactly what we were doing. We were taking the best information that we could find from talking to colleagues, listening to experts, listening to the CDC, talking to our coaches, and just trying to figure it out. Our goal became to get back to competition and to give our student athletes a great experience. So as you mentioned, the strategic plan and all the things that you lay out in a given year, and all the things you want to do in a 5-year period, you wanted this year to help you continue to work toward those goals. But really, it just became clear that this year was just going to be about having a chance to play, being able to get back to competition and doing it safely. How do we help our student athletes be able to compete through a pandemic? And I have to say, if I look back a year ago, I didn't know how we were going to do it. I didn't know, how do you play a sport like, let's say, football in a pandemic based on the nature of how COVID is transmitted? But we found a way to be able to do it, and so many people had a hand in that, so many people behind the scenes, our facilities people, our training room, our coaches. I think about two names that people probably won't be necessarily familiar with. Justin Schimmel, who's our deputy AD, and Stacia Eggers, who's an associate AD. They were the, chair people of our COVID response team. And they did a phenomenal job. They put in so much time and so much effort to be able to help us get back to competition. When I think about MVPs from the past year, they come to the top of the list.
Social justice, another topic that's been obviously around a long time, but really brought to light this year, and really important to use the platform that you're on, as well as the athletic department, to talk about these important issues.
Absolutely, and we're going to continue to talk about that. It's important. It's important to our student athletes. It's important to me personally. I think it's important to our society, and our student athletes really stepped up in a significant way, doing things across the board. But specifically, I think about the Unity Walk that happened last year, and the way that brought the community together, and how proud I was of them, that this was their initiative. They wanted to do it. They wanted to set it up. They wanted to get out the invites, all of those things. It was completely student athlete driven, and it just came out really well. But I look at us winning an award, the Pursuing Victory with Honor Award. Andrea Grieve Coelho, that's another name that you don't hear as much, but boy, she had a fantastic year for us. Just whether it was working with RISE as a voting initiative, or doing the 21-day equity challenge, or doing a diversity book read, she really stepped up in a significant way and helped give a voice to the voiceless, helped ensure that we can have equality across the board, and that those who wanted to learn more and wanted to do more had an opportunity to be able to do that. So it's an important thing for us, and we're going to continue to focus on that.
Student athletes juggle a lot, but now remote learning, different challenges, and still doing a great job in the classroom.
They had a great year, 3.54 GPA, highest GPA that we've ever had. How do you do that in the midst of a pandemic? How do you do that when classes are online? How do you do that when tutoring is happening virtually? When you're trying to play sports, when you're going through all the testing protocols, all of those things, our student athletes did a great job and had a great year. I mentioned the name Stacia Eggers. She runs that area for us. So in the midst of helping us with our COVID response, she was also responsible for setting the game plan for how we were going to support our student athletes academically, and it went phenomenally well.
More with David Harris after this, recapping 2020 and 2021.